and Jane from On the Pond with Dick and Jane, and today is harvest day. Very exciting. We are trying to continue our gardening through fall and as far as we can. And so one of the quick things you can grow in the fall are radishes. So I've already started harvesting our icicle radishes. And as you can see, some of them are bigger than others. Now I don't know if that has to do with the drop in temperatures, but you can always take advantage of the greens. So we went ahead and decided to pull these. They've been growing for 45 days now. And the kind that we got were the icicle short top, 27 to 35 days to harvest. And we also have some of the red ones, the champions, that were 20 days to harvest in some of the other boxes. And we let them go for 45 days. So it's time to pick them no matter the size, so we can go ahead and get these boxes prepped for some more of our fall crops that we want to grow. So far, I got one biggie. The rest are kind of on the small side. So we'll see what else we have. I don't know if these taste as peppery as the red ones, but for those of you who might not like that radishes that much raw, give them roast them and see if you like that better. That's the only way I can get Dick to eat his radishes, is to roast them.
Got buzzed by a bee.
So there's still bees running around, huh? So over here we have our champions. And you really see a lot more of their shoulders here than you did with the icicles, but you see a lot of them kind of peeking through here. So we'll see what kind of harvest we get from our champions. The greens are not as big as elves, but it looks like, you know, a pretty decent size for a radish. All right, so this is what we got from our champions. And here we have more icicles.
I let them go if I were you.
All right.
Because I don't see any shoulders on anything poking in through here.
So
nothing.
Through here, if you take a look, I really don't see any of the white shoulders, as you're saying, radishes. So even though we've been here for 45 days, we can let them keep on going to see if they will eventually grow bigger.
The radishes were a bit of a disappointment. It's going to take some time to figure those out, even though we let them stay in the ground twice as long as they were supposed to. But the beans never disappoint. So we've got, this will be our 4th harvest on these things. Something like that. And it'll be, we've got a whole bunch of them in the freezer now. So let's see what we get off of this thing. Got some decent ones. You can probably, we just picked 2 days ago. So never disappoint. Here, the turnips. They say these were planted around the same time the radishes were, and take a look at these guys. So these turnips were planted by the same time the radishes were, and they're coming along pretty good. And I am going to defend them until the day before the first frost. Let's see if we can keep these in here. A little bit of weed pressure in there, but not too bad. There's some decent looking radish. Turnips going on in there. So again, a couple, you can see some that, like this guy here, he's hardly produced. He's got not much on him. And down on this end. Now here's the interesting part. This is more of a shady side of this particular little row. But nevertheless, they are producing some turnips on them. So, I'll let these guys go. I think we've looked at the forecast and we're already looking out until November. And we have no forecasted frost. We got some 1 or 2 days down around 43 morning temps. So I think we can hold off on picking these and let them just keep getting bigger. Question is, when we want, as you can see, the leaf on these, the turnip greens, if you will, are nice and pretty decent size. At this point, do we stop feeding them nitrogen and feed them something else, being that they're root vegetables? That's don't know.
So these are the radishes that we did not pull this morning as part of our harvest. They still look really young, and there's no evidence of the root forming yet. If I get in here really close, they just really haven't filled out at all. The greens look nice, so we're gonna wait on these. Meanwhile, I did take a look to see, what's the best advice for growing radishes. And what I read was make sure that the soil is not compacted, which this bed is not. It's been, I added new soil to it after we pulled the potatoes, and it's very loose, and it should be fine for them to grow without any issues. The next thing was make sure they're not overcrowded, and as you can see, they're spaced out and not close together. And the next thing is, fertilizing. Are we over fertilizing, and is it putting more of its attention into the leaves than it is the root? And so we're going to pull back on how we fertilize these radishes and see if we can really produce a larger radish. But good news is we're really good at growing the greens, and the greens taste really good. In fact, we're going to have some tonight with some beans and cornbread, and I'm looking forward to that. I really like the taste of the radish leaves. So always try to find, that sunnier side of when things just don't quite go your way. Well, thank you for watching, and please stay tuned to see if we're able to recover these into nice plump radishes.